Hey guys, hope you all crispy and crunchy. My name is CerealMaty, and the new founded Natsuki Day continues. I'm recording this right after the last episode because I just wanted to continue. I'm really in the mood for recording today, so let's keep going. I do like the music in the background, but even though I turned down the volume already, it's piercing my ears. Right, it's time for Sayori. That's the wrong name. There's 4 names and I still mix them up. It's just 4. Come on, get them in your head. God damn it. It's still Natsuki's and Monika's story. I got that right. Wow. Congrats to me. I'm such a big brainer. I picked the right music because it continues playing. This sucks. Why is Monika such a jerk? She should be grateful that I even joined her stupid club. It's not like she can find any members. Monika's usually really nice. She cares so much about everyone in the club being happy. Yeah, right. Well, she usually does. Maybe when she's not busy being so judgmental. So what if I'm into manga? Why can't just one person accept that instead of being so condescending about it? I accept it. I think it's cute. You could not have said anything worse. Oh, come on! Cat, that's condescending too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I just want to support you. Natsuki sighs. I know, thanks. It just really sucks. Do you want me to talk to Monika? I don't know. It's not like it's gonna change her opinion of me. Like, even if you were to convince her to back off, that wouldn't suddenly make me feel like I'm actually welcome in the club. I should just find another club. Wait, you don't have to do that. We can figure this out, please. I mean, I'm the vice president, or at least I think I am. And I don't want I don't want you to leave. Everyone deserves to feel welcome and to be happy. So, I want to make that happen for you. I was wondering. What was the reason that you decided to join the literature club? Well, Natsuki hesitates. It's kind of dumb. Oh, I don't say that. There's no such thing as a dumb reason when everyone is welcome. I wasn't welcome. You were to me. So, just don't tell anyone, okay? Especially Monika. I promise. Natsuki sighs. I'm just tired of everyone judging me all the time. I can't enjoy any of the stuff I'm into without people making snotty comments about it. Not that I care about what anyone else thinks, but you know, the signs for the literature club that you can be yourself or whatever. So I decided it was at least worth a shot. But that was a lie apparently. Natsuki dejectedly kicks the toe of her shoe against the wall. Oh, and I like writing too. Really? How come you didn't say that to Monika? Because she was being so judgmental that I didn't. Just want to tell her something she wanted to hear. I didn't want to tell her something. Yeah. She didn't deserve that kind of satisfaction. And if she knew I was into writing, then she would just be like everyone else and try to push me away from the manga in favor of the more mature thing. The two of them remain silent for a while. Sayori understands that it's out of the question for Natsuki to return to the clubroom for today at least. But Natsuki has a reason for wanting to join the club, just like everyone else. It's part of the club vision for her to be welcome. You deserve to express yourself as much as everyone else does. That's supposed to be what this club is for. So, I'm going to do everything I can to fix this. I promise. Good, strong-hearted Sayori. Let's go. It's lunchtime the next day. The cafeteria and hallways are bustling with students rushing to meet with their friends and make the most out of their limited break time. Where could she be? Among them is Monika, who always eats lunch in her classroom, but she has some additional business today. Fearing Natsuki would avoid coming to the club, Monika decided to try to find her during lunch, so that she could make amends. After searching for an extensive time, Monika finally spots her. Despite her short stature, Natsuki's bright hair helps her stand out from the crowd. Oh gosh. Suddenly, feeling awkward, Monika is afraid to get closer. Natsuki is with some friends from Monika doesn't recognize. From? Whom? Monika doesn't recognize, and they're all energetically chatting together. It would be really tactless to just interrupt them. No! It's just a silhouette! Oh, I would love some new characters. I mean, side characters that nobody cared about, but come on! It's a pretty tall character anyway. Friend one. Oh yeah? Did you end up joining that literature club or what? Huh? Of course I joined. Why wouldn't I? I told you she would join. That's such a Patrick voice. No. Again, they're just side characters. I shouldn't care too much about their voices. Oh. Come on, you know she only joined because you wouldn't stop giving her crap about the anime club. I told you, I never even wanted to join that stupid club. Oh, sure. Well, you have to give her some credit for at least making an effort to finally grow past that trash. True. Well, congrats on finally graduating middle school, Natsuki. We're proud of you. Shut up! Just let me do my thing. I'm just joking. You know we love you. Yeah, once the literature club makes you a famous writer, you'll be the first ones to buy. We'll be the first ones to buy your book. What are you gonna buy her smutty fan fiction? Well, obviously, I want a signed copy. That was like years ago. You don't think I've grown out of it by now? I told you I was joking. Besides, it's a good reminder of how far you've come since then. Not to mention, you couldn't have done it without us. That gives us a pass to joke about it. Yeah, sure. Oh, they grow up so fast. It brings a tear to my eye. Well, we don't know if it's a boy or not, but I'm strongly assuming not. Still giving her a boy voice. Natsuki suddenly glances in Monika's direction, prompting Monika to quickly turn away and distance herself. What the heck? Is she wondering about their voices? Yeah, they're pretty strange, right? I couldn't imagine myself. Holy, I'm glad we're out of here. I did not want to be friends with them. That was horrible. I should have said something to defend her. Why do I have to be so conflict avoidant? Not that I deserve to say anything. I'm hardly better than them after the way I treated her. I'm so awful. I'm not doing anything right. So Monika still has a lot of self-doubt. After school ends, Monika distractedly makes her way to the clubroom. She finds Yuri already inside, eyes on a book as usual. Monika picks a desk and slumps into it, something she seems to be doing rather often lately. Yuri, I don't think I can be club president. I suck at handling anything that doesn't go like exactly my way. Yuri looks up from her book. It's like the literature club is a place where you get to express yourself, unless it's in a way I don't like. I'm so mad at myself. And I'm especially mad that I didn't have the self-reflection skills to realize what I was doing. So much for maturity. Sorry, I really shouldn't be complaining out loud like this. There's just like a lot on my mind. No. I enjoy listening. Really? Why? Yuri shrugs. It just makes me feel nice. Oh, well, okay. I guess I'll just continue then. Yuri nods. Yeah, well, Natsuki has kind of a blunt attitude, you know? It made me feel like she wasn't taking the club seriously. I couldn't even figure out why she wanted to join. I saw her friends talking to her in the hallway during lunch, and they were just so mean to her. Telling her to grow up and stuff like that. That the literature club would help her grow out of her manga. It just made me so mad. Like, just let her enjoy it. It makes her happy. Why are you trying to take that away from her? And when I had that thought, it was when I came to the realization that I was kind of doing the same thing, just in a roundabout way. I should have made her feel good about being passionate about something, but I dismissed it. No, I was actually trying to avoid acknowledging it at all. I even did that with you, Yuri, when you first joined the club. You did? Yeah, remember? Fantasy isn't really my thing, so I was kind of trying to dismiss it, but then Sayori jumped in and took over the conversation. I should have reflected on that, but I didn't, because I just let Sayori handle it instead. And now, I'm repeating the same mistake, except I really hurt someone this time. Monika shakes her head. I'm so tired of being afraid of things I'm not comfortable with. It's so stupid. Like, I can just picture how much joy it would bring to Natsuki if I let her share passion a little. I'm so angry that her friends were treating her like that. I'm going to get them back for it. Get them back? Yeah, I'll get them back by making sure that this is the literature club that Natsuki wants, not the one they want. Suddenly, Sayuri bursts through the door, making Monika and Yuri jump. With a rare, stern face, she marches over to Monika's desk and sits down next to her. I am having an intervention. I can do that as, because I'm vice president. Is it about Natsuki? Yes. Yeah, I know. I messed up. I'm super sorry. I was just talking to Yuri about it. Really? I was so dismissive of her passion that she felt threatened and probably just unwelcome. Literally the opposite of what the literature club should be or is supposed to be. I really need to make it up to her. Oh. Yay, I did it! Good job, Sayori. You're not Sayori, but you deserve a hat pat too. A hat pat? A head pat. Friendship wins again. So, how do you want to make it up to her? I have a plan. Sayori, do you know if Natsuki is coming to the club meeting today? I don't think she is. I see. Monika was afraid of that. Not because of her plan, but because she's facing the consequences of the damage that she's inadvertently caused. But the only way to do the right thing is to face it head on. It's so easy to just duck away from conflict and wait for it to blow over. But that's not enough. To truly respect someone's feelings after you've hurt them is to face them and admit your wrongdoing. Not the wrongdoing of mismanaging the club, but the wrongdoing of disrespecting Natsuki's feelings. Okay, do you think you can get her to come to the meeting tomorrow? I can do that. Okay, awesome. Yuri, you don't have to worry about anything, but thank you for being my friend. I just skipped that last line. Alright. Fidgeting with her hair, Yuri turns away to hide a smile. Well, I guess for today, it's going to be a pretty quiet club meeting. I'm going to step out of it for a bit. Is that okay? Yeah, I'm just gonna read with Yuri. Hey, is this one of Natsuki's books? How come it's out here? So Yuri picks up a manga that was resting on an adjacent desk. Oh, Natsuki probably just left it out by accident. But I thought she hasn't been coming to the club. Actually, Monika's been... Yuri! Psh! Shut up. You're making Monika look bad. Okay, Yuri, I'm not sure it was just I'm sure it was just someone else who was using this classroom then, okay? Monika smiles at them both. Then, with a wave, she exits the clubroom. Dum, bum, 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 bum. I really shouldn't have left that one out. If Sayori catches on, she'll definitely not tell Natsuki, and that would get really awkward. Now, I wonder if there is a keyboard I could borrow from the music room. A keyboard from the music room? What for? New side story, question mark? Oh, I'm just up for new content. The time for the next club meeting has already arrived. Monika and Yuri are the first to arrive. I'm so worried. Do you think Sayori's going to be able to bring Natsuki? Yes. How do you know? Well, she's Sayori. 100% true. That you can't argue about that. You know, you're right. Time slowly passes. Enough time passed. Monika sits, then stands up to pace around, then sits again. Yuri's eyes don't move from her book. Then the door finally opens. Sayori marches inside. Behind her, Natsuki shuffles inside, nervously looking around the room. We're here. Welcome back. Oh, all four of them. They're even sorted by height. Yeah. Whoop. Monika, the club president, stands up and greets them with a smile. Sayori picks a desk and takes a seat. Natsuki sits closely next to her. Looking back and forth between the club members, Monika is struck with a nostalgic feeling. Flashbacks? She would stand at the front of the club room just like this, struggling to picture just who may eventually be sitting before her. But imagination was never enough to predict just how unique and diverse each member would be. Each with her own struggles, her own reason for seeking the vision that Monika had, admittedly, so vaguely advertised. Seeking trust, understanding, respect. What new lessons will the future hold for the literature club? Realizing she's getting ahead of herself, Monika takes a deep breath and returns to the present. Okay, everyone, haven't heard you say that in a while. Said it. The literature club is starting. We have an activity planned for today. Monika turns around to face the chalkboard. On it, she writes manga in big letters. Today, we're going to learn from an expert about a unique form of literature. Manga. Oh, come on! Isn't this kind of forced? I know you don't actually want to do this, so just... Monika shakes her head. Natsuki, this is the hardest part. After making it this far, it would be so easy to just smile and move on. But that's not enough, not this time. I'm sorry. It was wrong of me to not take you seriously when you were kind of enough to show interest in my club. I thought about it, and I realized how biased I was against manga. It caused me to disrespect you, and I'm sorry. But I think you deserve to be able to share your passion with us. So, can I make it up to you? Well, thanks, but I know you're only doing this because Sayori told you to. Wait, that's not true. Monika planned this all by herself. I didn't even get a chance to talk to her. I was witness to that as well. This is the literature club. The literature club is a place where everyone gets to be themselves. We all have our own interests and our own differences. It's my vision to let us freely express that. And it's my goal to respect everyone for them. So, I just want to learn about the things that make you happy. I think that you deserve to share that joy, as much as everyone else does. Is that okay? Natsuki looks away and hesitates. But it's really dumb. The stuff I'm into. Monika smiles. She kneels in front of Natsuki's desk, looking her straight in the eye. If you like it, then it's not dumb. Oh, except for me. Sayori, you're not dumb. I mean, she's such a mood lifter. She saves the club for the second time now. But holy god. Get some self-confidence. Okay, maybe she is self-confident. No, she isn't. She's not self-confident. What the heck? You guys are so weird. Fine, I'll show you some of my manga. Only because you admitted that it's literature after all. Natsuki stands up. Oh yeah, I didn't say this before, but I'm actually into writing too. I'm kind of a pro. But I didn't want you to like me just for that. Wow, really? I really did have you all wrong, Natsuki. Yeah, whatever. Today's not about that anyway, right? It's about manga. So I hope you're ready. I definitely am. Oh, it's not over. I thought it was over. A week has passed since Natsuki returned to the literature club. Since then, the club activities have been in full swing. Each club member had received a day in the spotlight to share all of their favorite kinds of literature with each other. As another meeting draws to a close, Monika approaches Natsuki on the way out. Natsuki, are you in a hurry or something? Me? Not particularly. Particularly. Why? Oh, there was just something that I wanted to show you, if you had a few minutes. Sure. What is it? It's not in here. Can you follow me to the music room? The music room? Why? Well, you'll see. Oh. Oh, interesting. You know, I was thinking back. When the club was just me and Sayori, we would talk about how we envisioned the club to turn out. We cared a lot about it being a place where people could express themselves. So I'm just looking around the room, trying to find some things. Just looks like an ordinary music room with a fucking gigantic piano right here. How many keys does that have? Is that normal? Holy moly. We cared a lot about... Yeah, I read that. And she said something strange to me. She said that I was trying to make the club that I needed myself more than anyone. But I think it was until you joined that I fully understood that. Because you really taught me a lot about myself. Like, things I was probably always too stubborn to admit. Oh, come on. You can't mean that. I didn't even do anything. I just, brought a bunch of manga and then I got fuzzy when I didn't have my way. It was really stupid of me to make such a big deal out of it. No, I honestly needed it. If you didn't express that you were hurt, I would never have realized that I did something wrong. Besides, your feelings are valid. They deserve to be heard and respected. It's just really hard to feel that way sometimes. You know, I really shouldn't care about what other people think in the first place. But when you're getting criticized by everyone around you for being a certain way, it can get really hard just to brush it off. And it makes me start to feel like I'm the problem. Like I'm not doing enough to please everyone else. I'm being too entitled if I just want people to like me, without me having to hide a bunch of stuff. Am I being entitled if I just want people to like me without me having to hide a bunch of stuff about myself? I don't think I am. I just wish that sometimes people would try to appreciate me for who I actually am. As Monika listens, she recalls vividly how Natsuki's friends were treating her, and how naturally they did so. How long has she been fighting against that, refusing to change for others? I could only wish I was as strong as you are, Natsuki. You're so honest with yourself. I'm always trying to come off as perfect for other people. Anytime there's a hint of contention, I just crumble. But it's thanks to you that I really started thinking about this stuff. You really inspired me to start working on it. But like I said, I didn't even do anything. You were just being yourself. That's all you needed to do. So also, there's something else. Monika takes a breath. The thing is, I might have read a little bit of your manga. What? What the heck? Why didn't you tell me? I'm sorry, I think I just felt kind of embarrassed to admit it, after I gave you such a hard time about it. Can't believe you, out of all people, were reading manga behind my back. That's so funny. Yeah, well, I just flipped through one of them out of curiosity, but I ended up reading a whole bunch of it. But I mean, one of the characters was in a literature club. What are the chances? Chances, right? You were reading Parfait Girls? Wow, you have good taste. Just one volume. And I kind of just picked it out randomly. Well, you have good intuition then. You have to tell me all your favorite parts. Well, I think it was some kind of weird fate. because the character isn't just in a literature club, she also plays piano. It's just weird because I've always wanted to learn piano. She was like the perfect person that I always wish I was, if I just did what I wanted instead of always second guessing myself. Monika walks over to the piano and sits down. Oh, I always felt like I should only share the absolute best parts of myself, the parts that will impress other people or make them little me more, like me more. But after you joined the club, I really realized how self-destructive that mentality is. We share things because we want to express ourselves. Sharing experiences allows us to share emotions. And I just felt like I wanted to show you this, because if it wasn't for you, I would never have started playing. Hey, I think the credit for that goes to the Perfect Girls, not me. No. Well, maybe it's true that Perfect Girls put the thought into my head, but it was still you who inspired me to keep practicing every day. Every day? Because, you just make me feel like if I want to do something, I should just do it. I mean, I still haven't been practicing for very long, and I'm really not good at it yet, like at all. But I wrote a song for the club. I worked really, really hard on it. It doesn't have any words or anything, but, well, yeah. Are we getting to listen to it? Do I know this one? Let's watch. It's like all her memories of the club yet. No. Adorable. For someone who says she doesn't play piano often and that has only practiced for like a week, that's really good piano playing right there. And we're slowly getting to the present. Nice. And just with that note, my camera turned off. Just give me a second. Right, I'm back. I skipped Monica's first line. I'm sorry. She said, "That's all." That was so good. It was? Yeah, are you kidding? You're like already a pro. I agree. Not even close. Does that song have a name? You said it was about the club, so... Yeah. It's called My Song, Your Note. Oh, clever play on words. Because everyone brings something so unique to the word. Oh, I thought notes because you write down notes on, like, a sheet of paper for poetry and stuff. It's completely different from how I first imagined it, I think. But I was like such a selfish perfectionist. It shouldn't be about me. It should be about everyone. And it's all of you who helped shape the club into what it is. I would never change that. Well, I think that's really thoughtful. And kind of flattering too. Well, I kind of feel like I don't deserve this much validation. I wasn't exactly very patient either when I first joined the club. It makes me feel like I should probably apologize too. I think I was just really fed up with a lot of things and got frustrated after not getting my way in the club. So yeah, I really didn't mean to take it out on you. I was being really immature. If you get my stubborn butt to apologize, I guess you're doing something right. It's fine. I'm past it too. I think we're already even. But it's really sweet that you were thinking about it. It's really a lot of maturity to reflect on that kind of thing. Well, Well, I wonder who I got it from. Hmm? Oh, never mind. Well, anyway, we're even as long as you let me keep my manga in the clubroom. You did admit that it's a form of literature, so you totally can take that back now. You got me. The closet's all yours. I'll tell you what. I'll bring a little something for the club tomorrow. I want to do something nice in return. What kind of little something? Oh, you'll see. But I don't think you'll be disappointed. Cupcakes? The next club meeting ends up being a particularly tasty one. Cupcakes. What a way to end that episode right there. Until now, like every single side story had their own positive message at the end of it. Like, okay, the first one was about mental issues. Um, the one between Sayori and Yuri, and the one right now was more like accepting other people's opinions and other people's favors and interests and stuff, to like not get complacent in your own spot, and where you feel safe, and what you like is the right thing. No, to open up and get to know other people's interests. You don't have to take on their opinions or what they do, but that it should be uh, it should be normal to at least tolerate that other people like other things. I mean, yeah, it should be obvious, but still, that's maybe something a lot of people have to work on, to be honest. Right, that's enough moral talk for this episode. Next time, we'll find out more about Natsuki's and Sayori's relationship. Stay tuned for that. I will upload it tomorrow. And until then, have a nice day. Do whatever you want. Read some books. Read some manga. Wear pink because of Natsuki Day, or Natsuki Days, because we have still more stories involving Natsuki to come. Yeah, I'll see you all in the next video.